Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is just absolutely crucial right now. We're building a powerful rhetorical toolkit. Basically, we're going to help you speak confidently, persuasively, and, most importantly, memorably about the relationship between artificial intelligence and us humans. And we're doing this by dissecting the perfect blend of Hindi and English phrasing, translating those heavy concepts into a universal framework you can use literally anywhere. Because look, if you've ever had to give a presentation, lead a town hall, or just have a deep chat about the future of work, you know exactly how tough it is to strike that right tone. You don't want to sound like some doomsday prepper, right? But you also can't sound blindly optimistic. You need to sound like a visionary. So, by the end of this explainer, you're going to have a masterfully crafted set of concepts to do exactly that.
Okay, let's dive into this blueprint for the perfect speech. We'll kick things off with impactful openings to really hook your audience. Move right into how we describe AI, contrast that with human strengths, bring them all together through synergy, and finally, wrap the whole thing up with some undeniable punchlines.
Starting with Section 1, impactful openings and launching into a new era. So every great speech needs a hook, right? You absolutely have to establish the gravity of the topic right out of the gate. When people hear the letters AI, they usually bring a whole lot of baggage to the room, usually some mix of anxiety, fear, or honestly just fatigue. Your opening needs to completely shift their mindset from that anxiety to absolute laser-focused attention. You've got to command the room. When you step up, tell them we are standing at a major turning point in history. This is an Ek Naya Yug, a completely new era. Tell them this isn't just some routine software update. It is a digital kranti, a digital revolution. And then, to instantly dissolve that fear of losing jobs, you hit them with a pivot. The question isn't whether AI will replace us, but how we're going to adapt to it. Starting off like this, it instantly positions you as a forward-thinking leader.
Moving on to Section 2, describing AI, specifically focusing on logic and speed.
Now that you've got the room's attention, we have to introduce the first main character of our speech, artificial intelligence. We need to describe its capabilities accurately, but also with a real sense of awe to set the stage for what it brings to the table. And here's a pro tip. When you talk about AI, your delivery should actually mirror the technology. Use a crisp, steady, and slightly faster vocal delivery to kind of mimic that machine-like efficiency. Tell your audience that AI possesses aparampar gyan, vast, boundless, worldwide knowledge. Emphasize its core strengths, tark or gati, pure logic and incredible speed. Remind them that it's entirely data-driven. It makes decisions based purely on facts, without the noise or fatigue we humans deal with. Speaking about AI this way gives it the respect it deserves as a genuinely powerful tool. Which brings us to Section 3, Human Strengths, where we look at empathy and creativity. But, a story with only one character is pretty boring. So here is where you introduce our hero, humanity. You want to contrast that cold efficiency of the machine with the warm, irreplaceable pulse of human beings. And literally, deliberately slow down your pacing here. Let your voice become a bit warmer, a bit more resonant. You talked about the machine, now it's time to talk about us. Machines can calculate, sure, but humans have samvedna, deep empathy. We don't just process data, we bring rachnatmakta. We generate completely original, creative ideas that a machine could never spark on its own. We have antardrishti, that deep, gut-feeling intuition born from actually living life. And most importantly, this is absolutely crucial. You remind your audience that AI operates on code, but humans have naitikta. We operate on conscience and ethics. A machine knows what's mathematically optimal, but a human knows what is right. And this brilliantly illustrates a beautiful, dramatic tension for your listeners. On one side, you're presenting the raw, unfeeling power of AI, that vast knowledge and logic. On the other side, the very soul of the human, empathy and creativity. By putting these concepts right next to each other, you're showing your audience exactly what each side lacks and exactly what each side provides. It's like a perfectly balanced scale. Section 4, Synergy. All about humans working together with technology. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the goal of a great speech isn't to leave your audience in a state of conflict or to pit these two forces against each other in some kind of sci-fi battle to the death. No way. You must pivot to a powerful synthesis. This is where you bring the whole room together. Words like sahayog for synergy and sahayak for co-pilot aren't just vocabulary words. They are profound modern workplace philosophies. We're moving from competition to synergy. You define AI not as this autonomous threat coming for our jobs, but as a co-pilot, It's an assistant in our work, a massive extension of our intelligence. Framing it this way, it literally takes all the fear completely out of the room. You continue building this collaborative vision by using terms that denote real expansion. AI is a Vistar, an extension of our capabilities, not an alternative to our presence. And you speak of a peaceful, highly productive sahastitva, a coexistence between machine and human. Leaning into themes of coexistence like this entirely transforms your rhetoric. It shifts the audience's internal narrative from a place of vulnerability and worry to a place of total empowerment. You're basically telling them, hey, we're going to work side by side with the future. Next up, Section 5, Punchlines for Final Decisions. As we approach the end of your hypothetical speech, we need those final building blocks, the punchlines. These are those mic drop moments, the phrases that are going to ring in the ears of your audience long after they grab their coffee and leave the room. So the crucial point is, you tell them clearly, AI is a phenomenal tool, but we remain the master. When it comes to decision-making, AI gives us the info, but the human makes the final call. And the ultimate takeaway is replacement versus augmentation. AI is not here to end your job, it is here to augment and elevate exactly how you work. These punchlines firmly, unequivocally place the human back in the driver's seat. Finally, Section 6, the grand finale. Now, it's time to see how all these carefully chosen concepts flow together into a real-world climactic example. Imagine standing on stage, looking out at the crowd, and saying with absolute conviction, "Friends, AI's logic and speed have their place, but a human's empathy and intuition have no match. AI is a co-pilot that augments our work. We aren't just learning to use a computer. We are combining our creativity with AI to generate a powerful new synergy." Do you notice the flow of those ideas? The crispness when you mention logic and speed, immediately softening into the warmth of human empathy, and then rising up to this inspiring crescendo on creativity and synergy. That, my friends, is exactly how you move an audience. To truly master this speech, you want to leave your audience with a lingering thought, a question that echoes in their minds and really challenges their perspective. Ask them this: AI can process data perfectly, and it can be entirely unbiased. But can it truly be empathetic? Can it actually feel? As we navigate this whole new era, it's not just about what the technology can do, but about what only we can provide. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Take these ideas, build your speech, and go out there and inspire your audience.